Kevin, is it time?
Time for what, Derek?
Oh, we're going to light the cactus light. Diamondbacks win, baby. Let's go. Welcome in to another edition of the PHNX Dbacks podcast right here on PHNX. My name is the mayor of PHNX, occasionally known as Derek Montilla. His name is Large Intimate, occasionally known as Kevin Thomas on the ones and twos. And we are here to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks winning a very close game against the New York Mets. I'm still pumped from it, but it still somehow feels like a disappointment. But the Diamondbacks got the job done tonight. The bullpen, although shaky, held things together. Tea time, Ryan Thompson showed out there. Tea time. But yes, this is a big win for the Diamondbacks tonight. Diamondbacks win by a score of 4-3. Welcome in to the PHNX Diamondback Show. Of course, this show is brought to you by our friends at Bet365 and our friends over at Game Time. Of course, if you haven't signed up yet, go download that Bet365 app. Use our code of PHNX365 when you sign up, and you'll get yourself some bonus bets over there, betting just $5 on your first bet. Also, if you want to go watch some games like this exciting game was tonight, use Game Time. You'll get 60% off last-minute ticket deals, and you can use our code of PHNX to get $20 off your first order. Diamondbacks improve to 16-14, and God damn it, even though he's not here, Kevin, I want you to send that little tiny Ketel Marte up the mountain, please. We're not going below 500 just yet. Send him up there, Kevin. Yeah, I know he's not here tonight, but the Diamondbacks offense could have needed him. This was a slow night offensively for both teams. Corbin Burnes was outstanding tonight for the Diamondbacks, even though his stat line doesn't reflect it. I think tonight is a great example of a pitcher following a game plan, going out there and executing, knowing which batters that are dangerous and super hot right now to stay away from and walk, kind of the intentional walk situation, and got out of it with just allowing one run. We'll talk about Corbin Burnes in a bit, but of course, tonight is all about Geraldo Perdomo and his pinch hitting heroics. This, again, was a devastatingly slow night for the offense early on in this game. Mets went with an opener in, excuse me for not pronouncing this name even close, but Huascar Brazopan for 2 innings. They went with an opening reliever, and then they went with Brandon Waddell, their AAA pitcher, who is kind of a seasoned vet, not necessarily a youngster, but guy that was in their AAA system that they called up. And honestly, the Mets pitching staff once again held the Diamondbacks in check. Brazopan went 2 innings, didn't allow an earned run against Diamondbacks. Waddell goes 4 1/3 innings. He gives up 3 hits, but no earned runs. Meanwhile, Brazoban, who's been incredibly good for that Mets team, no hits allowed from him tonight against Diamondbacks hitters. But once they got into Huascar. Once they got into the bullpen, the Diamondbacks were able to do some damage, but their offense didn't get their first hit until the 3rd inning. Again, off of Waddell, when Garrett Hampson singled with 2 outs. He also stole second base, so it was good to see Hampson have some sort of production at the plate tonight. But the Dbacks just had one more hit. I believe it was a Gabby Moreno single in between that and the 7th inning when they finally got things going. By the way, great to see Erica Day not once but twice. She was in here watching this Diamondbacks team with us. She might be very much responsible for them turning things around, or maybe, just maybe, it was the energy and electricity brought by one Damon Dog himself, who is back from Hawaii. And of course, all of his guys showed out tonight. Kevin Ginkel returned, and he was good for the Diamondbacks. But the big hero is Damon's boy, the namesake on the back of the jersey that he wears, one Geraldo Perdomo, who was not even in the original lineup. And we could talk about that. There was, once the lineup came out today and we saw both Tim Tawa and Garrett Hampson in the lineup, I'm sure a lot of Arizona Diamondbacks fans kind of rolled their eyes and might have even chalked this one up to another loss. This team has already been struggling offensively. So again, to see a night where you didn't have Geraldo Perdomo in there and you see both of those guys, Tim Tawa leading off, which this was the first time I believe in his career he's led off. So there's that. But they definitely didn't have, their best lineup going against a strong Mets team. Luckily, again, Corbin Burnes gave this team an excellent chance to win. They were only down 1-0, even with this offense not really doing much aside from 2 hits in this game up until the 7th inning. And Kevin was here to go through the roller coaster of emotions with me. He saw me lock him. I locked myself in Kevin's office and only watched for a brief period of time through the window. I also stood in the spot tonight for you people and for this team. So we turned on the cactus light. We stood in the spot. We pulled out all the stops. We brought Damon Dog back. We brought Erica up from Tucson. We did everything we could to urge this team on to this victory tonight. And it was a big one. We played some
Vanessa Carlton.
We did. We
1,000 miles.
We sang Vanessa Carlton more than once.
Multiple times.
Can
never get enough of that song.
We can't do that now because we'll get DMCA'd, right?
Correct the mundo.
I would still love to do that. Your rendition was beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, King.
But that 7th inning, man, things turned around for the Diamondbacks there in the 7th inning. You had, finally the Diamondbacks were able to put together multiple hits, and the Diamondbacks were able to have Geraldo Perdomo come into this game. He did not start, but he comes in a pinch hit situation with 2 outs. He has runners on 2nd and 3rd, and Perdomo brings them in with a line drive to left field. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. scores, Jorge Barrosa scores, and the Diamondbacks take a 2-1 lead. They would go on to add another run there in the bottom or in the following inning where Barrosa brought in I'm forgetting now who I lost my place here, but the Diamondbacks added a sac fly, and then Geraldo Perdomo also adds a sac fly. It was the Jorge Barrosa 339-foot sac fly that made it a 3-1 ball game. And at that point, you truly felt like, the Diamondbacks had perhaps enough cushion with the way this bullpen was pitching. You had Perdomo then come in and add in a sac fly. And Gabby and Perdomo drove in Alec. Thank you. I was lost there in my list, but we had those 2 plays occur, giving the Diamondbacks a 4-1 lead, and they would absolutely need it based on the way that this game would go, with the way bullpen would go, the way the 9th inning would go. But again, you just can't say enough about what Geraldo Perdomo, our RISP king, does with runners in scoring position, what he does with the game on the line. Hell, what he does when he was down 0-2 in the count, right? Perdomo just doesn't give up, and that's it's a big reason why this team has won ball games this year. He's always involved, it feels like, in these game-winning moments, and again, crucial in 3 runs being scored tonight. He had 3 RBI. He was 1 for 1 with that double, and Perdomo is obviously our king snake in this game. So, this was a pretty incredible night for Perdomo coming in with his pinch hit heroics in this one, and the Diamondbacks absolutely needed it with this entire situation and everything that's been going on. Bees is here in the chat, and is Bees blown away by the cactus light being on? Is that what's happening? Yes, Bees. The cactus light is on. I already told you guys I get stuff done around here, right? And again, we still couldn't find the cord for it, so no drilling was required. But I did steal 3 AA batteries out of the Xbox remote controls. It was 3.
That thing needs. Never mind.
Look. Are you saying the cost is too high?
No, I'm saying the cost was surprising.
Okay, that's fair. The cost might have been a little surprising, but what was more surprising is the Diamondbacks' performance tonight. Honestly, this Mets team has been incredible at home. This is just their 2nd loss at home this season. And the Diamondbacks were able to come out, like I said earlier, and they had a game plan tonight. They executed that game plan, and they come out of this game somehow, inexplicably, with a 4-3 victory over a team that, again, has only lost 1 game so far at home. The Diamondbacks also are notoriously bad at Citi Field. I believe this is just the 5th win in franchise history at Citi Field. And again, the Diamondbacks' active streak of 15 straight games with 2 or more extra base hits is currently tied for the longest streak of its kind this season with the Cincinnati Reds. And if I'm not mistaken, the Diamondbacks were able to extend that tonight. They had a Barossa double and they had a Lourdes Gurriel double. So Diamondbacks reach 16 games in that active streak. But again, this team has not been good offensively. They can't continue down this path and expect to win games that are this low scoring, especially considering how erratic the starting pitching performances have been. And tonight we saw it, right? Again, we're going to get to the bullpen. We're going to get to the pitching. But the offense tonight, I mean, Corbin Carroll, again, had himself another rough night at the plate. He seems to be coming back down to earth a bit. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Grichuk was 0 for 3. And again, you just had a lot of guys not really contributing much. Tim Tawa at the top of the lineup, 0 for 5 tonight. So not to be a downer. This is a win. This is a good night. But the pitching, they did their thing tonight, and they did it against one of the top offenses in baseball. And you got to give credit where credit is due. The things fell apart a little bit there in the 9th inning for the bullpen. Torrey managed to shift gears, bringing in Ryan Thompson, and somehow this team walks away with a victory. Nicholas Gruters brings up a great point in the chat. He said Corbin is 4 for 26 since tweaking his shoulder. We remember when he had that moment where he grimaced in that game, and it could very much be impacting his performance at the plate. Ryan says, I'm mad the team won. I'm never mad the team won, Ryan. I'm never mad. But what I will say is that, again, the offense hasn't been performing lately, and this isn't really sustainable, right? This Mets team is entirely too good, but I credit the Diamondbacks for once again being able to score late runs, being able to mount a comeback, and honestly being able to hold this one together despite the fact that it got closer than any of us wanted it to get. But we have more on the true heroes here. I don't care. Throw Perdomo back up there. I just want to see that picture again. Look, this 1 for 1, 3 RBI, a double, sac fly that scored a run. Perdomo is the reason why they won this game offensively tonight, single-handedly. He came into this game, he injected life into this offense, and he got the job done, quite frankly. So again, this is another outstanding performance from Perdomo. And what can you say about the guy that they just extended? So far, the Diamondbacks players that they've extended have been performing extremely well, but we do have to have an uncomfortable conversation about Justin Martinez and if he should be in that closer role. Also, is there something wrong with him? Is he injured? Are we going to lose Justin Martinez? We're going to speculate and worry and do all that stuff. But again, not too much, because the Diamondbacks went ahead and won this game. Let's not forget that. We're going to talk about the pitching on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Of course, if you are looking to have your brand stand apart from the crowd, look no further than Branded Bills. They have you covered with performance and style, and they actually have you covered with the best custom headwear you can find. Branded Bills right here in local company right here in Mesa, Arizona. You can start your order with them, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. They have hats, they have shirts, they have bags, they have all sorts of stuff that can help your brand stand apart. And they also make some very incredible logos. They can use your designs and bring them to life on their hats. So make sure to check out everything they have to offer. If you are a hat aficionado like myself, make sure to check out what they have to offer over there. They have ASU, U of A, Suns hats, Diamondbacks hats, and so much more. So make sure to check them out. Again, that golf night is sold out, but you can definitely check out all the other hats that they have to offer over at brandedbills.com. Head to brandedbills.com and use that code of BBPHNX for 20% off your first order. And head there, not right now, watching the show, but do it later. Also, of course, if you want to improve your flooring in your home, you want to give yourself a true home field advantage, look to Empire Today. They are a company that has been right here in the Valley for years. They are known, they are trusted, and they are flooring experts. That is why you should go to them. Forget going to those big box stores that handle plumbing and bathroom fixtures and, plants and outdoor stuff. Don't go there. Go to someone that knows flooring. Not only that, you won't have to go anywhere, because Empire Today will bring the samples to you. They will bring all of the options to you, so you don't have to leave your home. They will bring exactly what you're looking for. They will help you color match to your living space. And of course, they will make sure that flooring is installed the right way. They live and breathe flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way, because with Empire Today, it's a whole new ballgame. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 discount when using that promo code of PHNX. That's right, you heard me right, $350 off with the code PHNX. Restrictions do apply. Visit EmpireToday/PHNX for full details. All right, well, we're already talking in the chat about what the Diamondbacks are going to do for the bullpen. Of course, there probably will be a move to be made, and hopefully that move will be to bring back one of the guys that was pitching well. I know Dre Jamison had his struggles in returning for this team. Perhaps Bryce Jarvis. I don't know. I mean, Joe Mantiply right now might be an unpopular option. However, the Diamondbacks do need another lefty in the pen until AJ Puck returns. So interesting to see what they're going to do there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that move made. Bullpen had a big role in this game, but obviously the bigger role was Corbin Burnes and what he was able to do against the New York Mets tonight. Burnes did what good pitchers do. And quite frankly, I know that the stat line isn't sexy. It doesn't necessarily reflect a night where you would describe a guy as shoving, but I feel like that's what Burnes did. Burnes bent, but he never broke. He went out there, he executed a game plan. He had 5 walks tonight, but those walks were in critical situations where you could kind of tell that he was intentionally walking guys to pitch around certain hot hitters to make sure that this game didn't get out of control. Still didn't stop Lindor from doing his thing. Burnes, and he struggled to find the zone in the first inning. This was one of those nights where I was very nervous in regards to Burnes and his first inning and how things were going to go. He gives up that leadoff double to Francisco Lindor. Then he walks Pete Alonso and Mark Vientos to load the bases with just 1 out. And somehow he gets out of that first inning. He dials in, he strikes out Starling Marte, and he gets Jeff McNeil to ground out there to get out of the inning, and he doesn't allow a run. And honestly, that was probably, for me, the most incredible part of his outing, considering how much this Mets team jumped all over him and how much, again, this so far, this team has allowed a lot of early runs in games, which kind of makes it, puts that pressure on the offense and kind of, causes things to fall apart a bit for them. But Burnes' only blemish was a solo home run to Mark Vientos to left field. That put the Mets up by 1-0. But he got Vientos to hit into a crucial double play when things looked like they were once again possibly falling apart there in the 5th inning. And it was a masterful performance despite the line not having a ton of strikeouts. In fact, let's go ahead and throw up our Circle K strikeout tracker, which hasn't been getting a lot of use lately. Let's be honest. We're only lighting up 3 Ks tonight.
The tank is not full.
The tank is not full. But again, I think that is impressive considering what this Mets team has been doing, right? Burnes goes out there, he goes 6 innings, gives up 4 hits total, 1 earned run. He did walk 5 and only struck out 3. He gives up the 1 home run, but he does lower his ERA on the season to 3.58 with the performance. So things look much better than they did with his +4 ERA. And quite frankly, I think the biggest thing to consider is how impressive this was, considering what this Mets team has done against starting pitchers over the last few days, right? They absolutely wrecked Eduardo Rodriguez in game 1 of this series. He gave up 8 earned runs. And then going back to the Nationals series, they had 5 earned runs against Nationals starter Trevor Williams on Monday. They had 6 earned runs against Mitchell Parker on Sunday. And the Mets team has just been an offensive juggernaut this season. So I think it's a big credit to Corbin Burnes on what he was able to do against this team. And again, the numbers don't necessarily reflect like this was a masterful outing, but I think to watch it, and especially watch the way that Burnes dialed in after his struggles there in the first inning, where it seemed like he just wasn't going to be able to find the strike zone, he absolutely did. So his cutter was working tonight. A lot of things were working for Corbin Burnes, but this bullpen, man, talk about bending but not breaking. This bullpen did the thing for the Diamondbacks tonight. Jalen Beeks came in relief of Corbin Burnes. He gave up 1 hit. And again, he didn't look extremely strong. He wasn't looking like he was able to find the strike zone at times, but he still goes out there, gives 2/3 of an inning. Ginkel makes his return, screams, fires us up, gets us out of that inning. He only allows, he gave up one walk, struck out one, and only gets that 1/3 of an inning. And then honestly, the best bullpen reliever the Diamondbacks have right now is Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller goes out there. He shoves in his 1 inning of work. He did give up a hit, struck out one, but the Diamondbacks bullpen just built on that performance for Corbin Burnes, and they get the Diamondbacks to the 9th inning. And that is when Justin Martinez, who I think so many of us wanted to see in this closer role and still want to see mature into this closer role, comes into the game and just doesn't have a strong outing. Gives up a home run there to was it Vientos again? Or no, it was Taylor. Excuse me, Taylor in the 9th inning, and then proceeds to just not really look strong. He is pitching out of the strike zone. Was able to line his sinker, but couldn't find the strike zone with his splitter. Really was completely staying away from his 4-seam fastball. So a lot of things concerning about Justin Martinez's performance. He isn't able to record an out, and gives up 1 hit. He allows 2 earned runs, walks 2, and again gives up that home run to Tyrone Taylor. And then, of all people, Ryan Thompson comes into the game. And I know what every single one of you was thinking. Every single one of you were like me. You were nervous. You were befuddled. And I'm sure that there was a lot of people that felt like this situation had been mismanaged by Torey Lovullo. And we should have this as a segment, but there's your Torey Lovullo mismanagement moment of the night, is where Ryan Thompson is the guy that he has to turn to in the 9th inning. And what does Ryan Thompson do? Ryan Thompson gets them out of the game, is what Ryan Thompson does. Tea time. No Travis Scott meltdown here. Ryan Thompson goes out there. He gets 1 inning of work. He walked 1. He did strike out 1. And quite frankly, he was a bona fide G and a certified stud. No, wait, it's reverse that. Certified G and a bona fide stud. And you can't teach that. And that's exactly what I texted him after the game. But Ryan Thompson gets the job done for the Diamondbacks, his first save of the season. And again, I mean, this at least was a fully staffed bullpen that was able to come out. Torey was able to use all of his weapons tonight and get him out of this game. But for the most part, it does look like there might still be something physically wrong with Justin Martinez, or quite frankly, he just might not be ready for this role as the team's closer. We know that there has to be a reason why, in general, they've kind of shied away from naming J-Mart as the closer, right? It's no disrespect to him. It's just a lack of commitment, considering his stuff there has to be a reason for it. And I think the reason for it is the fact that, again, he's very inexperienced still in this role. He's still very young and has outings like this when the Diamondbacks kind of need him to have ice water in his veins. He's not able to record an out. So I don't know if a change is going to be made, or I don't know if they're going to continue to try to push him into this role. I think the knee-jerk reaction is to think that he probably shouldn't be in this role and maybe would be better fit in that role that he's been in the 7th inning or 8th inning, and those still in high leverage situations, just not that closer role. And I'm sure the conversation is going to start heading in the direction of Shelby Miller, who still hasn't allowed an earned run this season, to be that guy that Diamondbacks fans want to see in the 9th inning. And yes, by the way, we did win the Shelby Miller trade, by the way. I'm just throwing that back out there. We got to keep that alive. But yeah, I mean, again, there's going to be some problems potentially here going forward because there was a lot of usage out of this bullpen, and there is that as well. We've talked about that previously, but a closer has to pitch in consecutive days. You know, you're typically not going to turn to him more than 3 days in a row, but a closer has to be able to go out there and give you 3 innings over 3 days, and that's just part of that role, right? So there could be that in regards to Justin Martinez as well, especially with the arm fatigue that he's currently experiencing. But I don't know. I'm worried about it. What do I keep saying that Bees is screaming at me to stop
that
saying?
We won the
Kevin?
Shelby Miller trade. People in the chat were saying that we won the Shelby Miller trade, and Bees was saying that they blame chat anytime Shelby struggles and that you can't jinx it. It's too early.
Is everything a jinx? Is everything? Can we not? Do we just not speak about baseball because everything's going to be a jinx? I want to have fun, Bees. Can I just have fun? I want to be able to say stuff. Yeah, but Diamondbacks bullpen, again, they go out there tonight outside of Justin Martinez giving up those 2 earned runs. They hold the Mets scoreless, and they did a great job. Don't know exactly what the plan is going to be with Justin Martinez, or if there's going to be, any IL stint, or if there's anything medically wrong with him. Hopefully that's not the case, but Diamondbacks have already experienced entirely too much loss this season when it comes to injuries. And again, I remind you, this is a team that absolutely had a tremendous amount of depth to start the season, and it's still April 30th, and we're talking about being decimated currently by injuries, at least when it comes to pitching. But it's great to see Kevin Ginkel back. You felt like he really injected some life into this, into this team a bit there. And again, you can't say enough about what Corbin Burnes was able to do on the mound. There were people commenting on our graphic on social about how, like, when will we see an elite, performance from Corbin Burnes? And again, I mean, I guess it's your idea of elite. I know this isn't exciting. I know, once again, he didn't light up the stat line. It's not 12 strikeouts and all of this other stuff, but I kind of ran down those numbers and what this Mets team has been doing offensively against starters. And yeah, those starters that I named aren't exactly household names or the elite pitchers in baseball, but they have been on a roll, especially at home. This is just, once again, their second loss this season at home. So, you got to give credit where credit is due to Corbin Burnes and what he was able to do tonight. Sometimes, especially against a hot team, you're not going to go out there and try to fill up the stat sheet with strikeouts because, quite frankly, that's foolish. And there's a good chance that those guys are so dialed in, they're going to crush your stuff when you're trying to bring that cutter in the zone. Corbin Burnes did what he needed to do tonight, and it was, in my opinion, his best performance so far, considering the caliber of opponent that they were facing tonight. So Diamondbacks, again, this is a good one. This is a good way to break up the monotony of the last, few losses, because it's been a bit of a demoralizing stretch recently, and the Diamondbacks definitely needed a win. Again, it's something to at least hang your hat on, that not a lot of teams have been able to beat this Mets team at home, and they just did it tonight. But Corbin Carroll, again, hitting below 300 now, so that kind of makes me sad. And again, some of the other offensive numbers aren't great, but Gino Suarez, he at least got a hit tonight, and he raises his batting average to 200. So we did it. Gino did it. Leave a like for Gino getting his batting average over 200. Knights 23 says, I missed Ginkel and his enthusiasm. We need a guy like that to show his emotion. You're absolutely right. I feel like that about guys like Geraldo Perdomo. I feel like that about Ketel Marte. These are the position players that tend to show the emotion. They tend to get their teammates fired up. They are leaders, but leaders in a different way. And they are also cheerleaders, right? They also applaud their teammates and again, pump the guys up. I feel like Kevin Ginkel definitely is a guy that does that for the defense. He does that for the bullpen. He's electric. And it's funny because he's a very soft-spoken guy at times. He's actually quite normal, despite the way that he acts sometimes coming off the mound. And so I love the fact that he has such enthusiasm, considering his kind of soft-spoken nature. We did have a couple of U of A folks in here cheering him on at the appropriate time. So there you go. Benjamin Hunley says, did you guys give Ryan Thompson his flowers? Probably not enough. Ryan Thompson hasn't had a strong season, but tonight was, again, his strongest performance. And quite frankly, he gave it to the Diamondbacks when Torey Lovullo and the team needed it the most. This had disaster written all over it, didn't it? And I mean, again, especially considering that you go to a guy like J-Mart confidently thinking that with a 3-run lead, he's going to get the job done. And the Diamondbacks had to pivot, quite frankly, fairly fast and have Ryan Thompson get warmed up. I'm not sure when he started warming up, but get him warmed up, get him ready, and get him out there to save this game when Justin Martinez obviously didn't have it tonight. But, I still believe in Martinez, and now I believe in tea time more than I ever have, because this was just a great performance from Ryan. And again, it came at a time when the Diamondbacks needed it the most. So Ryan H says, how many home runs is Gino on pace to hit? It doesn't matter how many he's on pace to hit. He's not going to hit 40. So I'm not dyeing my hair any part of my beard teal. None of that's happening.
We need to let Gino know that this exists to give the man extra motivation.
You know what's
like
wild?
A contract bonus.
Is when I dyed my hair purple because of the bet about the Diamondbacks having a winning record in 2023. It gave Lourdes Gurriel Jr. superpowers. It really did. He was incredible. It couldn't be explained. Not even one Jesse Friedman could explain it. He would actually throw his hands up in frustration at the very idea that my dyeing of my hair somehow gave Lourdes magical baseball powers, but it did. And he couldn't refute the evidence based on the data. So we were left to the only conclusion, which was me dyeing my hair gave Lourdes super magical baseball powers. But Nicholas Gruder says that Gino is currently on pace for 52 home runs. That's not great. It's not great.
No.
That's not great.
Is that number bigger than 40?
You know what, Kevin? I don't appreciate you. I take back anything nice I said about you. But of course, I have more nice things to say about the Diamondbacks after they won this game. And we're going to do that in regards to these numbers. On the other side of this break, don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, of course, our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts can help you extend your outdoor living area this summer. Things are going to get hot fast, much hotter than this Mets defense. And of course, I guess in this analogy, All Pro Shade Concepts can be like the Diamondbacks pitching staff tonight, and they can cool off the heat of the Mets offense. Can keep your patio 20 degrees cooler with roll down patio shades. They can also install custom fit awnings with hundreds of designs and colors to choose from. Of course, they can make sure that those new awnings are HOA compliant. They can also fix most older outdated awnings and patio shades as well. They are the most trusted local shade company, voted #1 by Ranking Arizona for patio shades in 2024. And of course, that's because they've been in business in the Valley right here for 20 years. They started making these shades by hand. Now they do it a bit more efficiently. They mass produce them a bit more, but they still do it with the same love and care that they always have over there. They're licensed, bonded, insured. So of course, give them a call right now over at All Pro Shade Concepts. Be like our guy Espo and get yourself some nice new roll down patio shades. For an estimate, you can call them at 623-204-1476 or visit All Pro Shade Concepts now to schedule that free estimate. And Kevin, let me tell you, we got ourselves some big news from Sanderson Ford. I don't know if you guys are in the market for a vehicle, but if you are, now is the best time to check out Sanderson Ford. We have big news from David Kimmerly, president of America's most awarded Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford. Ford just announced From America for America employee pricing, where you will pay what the employees pay on Ford vehicles. Employee pricing levels the playing field for all Ford dealerships, but only at Sanderson Ford will you get no added addendums or add-ons when they bring you your vehicle. They have a huge inventory and a 70-year reputation of treating customers right over there at Sanderson Ford. And of course, you can find all vehicles you're looking for there. Right now, check them out. Now is the best time to buy a new Ford with From America for America employee pricing. Excludes the 2025 Expedition, 2025 Super Duty, Raptors, Mustang, and Bronco specialty vehicles. And I always got to say this part, but make sure to stop by the Starliner Diner. If you don't go there for one of the most inexpensive, best cheeseburgers you've ever had in your life, you're missing out. You're missing out on the From America for America pricing, but you're also missing out on one hell of a patty melt. Kevin, now I've said too many words about food and I'm hungry. It's late. We kind of do this show at an awkward time with these East Coast start times at 4:10 p.m.
Yeah.
But I'm going to press on because we have the numbers to look at, and these numbers are fun. Of course, these numbers are also presented by Desert Financial, who always keeps our numbers straight. Diamondbacks outscore the Mets in this one 4-3. They out-hit the Mets 8-7. This was the big key here, is the Diamondbacks were able to hold the Mets to 0-10 with runners in scoring position, which was huge. Diamondbacks 20% there with runners in scoring position. And of course, that 20% name is Geraldo Perdomo. Both teams had 3 extra base hits and the expected batting average for both teams was pretty much a push. 280 for the Diamondbacks, 253 for the Mets. But just a great night overall for the Diamondbacks in a low-scoring game. We know that these close games have been they haven't been easy to watch at times. But yeah, Piece of Yoshi says they were 1 for 15 combined tonight with runners in scoring position. So that's not great. But also, hey, this is a night where pitching definitely was outstanding. We know the Diamondbacks typically struggle against openers and AAA pitchers, and they got all of that tonight. The Diamondbacks got everything thrown at them. And luckily, once again, this team was able to score some runs late in the game. I still believe they lead all Major League Baseball teams with tacking on runners late. They now have 66 runs scored in the 7th inning or later, which leads the majors ahead of the Cubs with their 56, the Mets with their 53, and Marlins at 49. So Diamondbacks continue to be the answer backs. They continue to be the comeback kids. Tyler Hurd said, can we just talk about those productive outs in the 9th? Oh my God, Tyler, I could go on for a long time about that. It was, and again, just how beneficial this was, how, again, just how this team was able to realize in a close game that this lead wasn't secure. That 2 runs was not going to be enough against this Mets team, and it absolutely wasn't. That's why the Barossa 330. I know we had no home runs from the Diamondbacks in this game, but I don't know if we already said it, Kevin, but the Barossa 339-foot sac fly, again, that was our Sanderson Ford deep drive of the game, because that particular sac fly made this a 3-1 ball game. It's really what gave the Diamondbacks any kind of, space here between the Mets. And obviously Geraldo Perdomo once again had the game winner with his sac fly there in the 9th inning. But this is one of those, this is how the Diamondbacks win games. We saw them creating a little bit of chaos out there. We saw Perdomo getting that stolen base, even though it was kind of more of him being too far. I don't know what happened there, but Perdomo somehow makes it to second. And, again, this team tonight looked much like the team that we expect them to be. They were sharp defensively. We didn't see a bunch of mistakes, and it was critical, because this one ended up coming down to being a 1-run game. We do have the probable pitchers going forward, and I know Yoshi is going to once again disagree with this graphic. We have been giving it time. We've been pushing it out. We've been trying our best to wait to find out who the actual starting pitcher for the Mets is going to be in Game 3 of this series. And now Piece of Yoshi saying Senga is sick potentially and might not start in that game. But we do have going in that game is Zach Gallen. So what Zach Gallen is going to show up? Is it going to be the same Zach Gallen that already took the trip to New York and performed so incredibly well against the Yankees? Or is it going to be the Zach Gallen that we can't even recognize at times this season? I think Gallen did have things going for him in the right direction in his last start. Hopefully what we'll see is him being able to build on that, come out, especially being able to get ahead in the count, and being able to command his fastball. Because again, if we take a look at that probable pitchers graphic, that is a pretty gross ERA. Zach Gallen 1-4 with a 5.57 ERA, going up potentially against Kodai Senga if he's feeling okay, who's 3-1 with a ridiculous 1.26 ERA this season. The Diamondbacks have to win that game, right? Based on those numbers, the Diamondbacks have to be the one to win that game. They have to be. Nicholas Gruters is bringing us an update from Jody Jackson. Thank you so much, Nicholas. He said, per Jody Jackson, J-Mart says he feels fine, but Torrey says likely to get imaging and possible IL stint. Yikes. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully that imaging comes back negative. And by negative, I mean positive, I think is really what I want to say. But
yes.
Yeah, we hope that comes back negative. Ryan H wants me to start getting into saying milk again. Did I say it that time?
One more time?
Milk?
One more time?
Milkman?
I think you're doing it on purpose, but I think you're getting it right.
You think I mean, that's just the way I said. That's the way I've always
I
said
think
it.
you're putting on for the chat right now.
Milkman. That's Milkman. That's
See, there was milk.
it does.
That
it
was
just,
your natural.
It just slides right
that
back
was your
out.
natural
It's like
pronunciation.
a Midwestern accent. Let's see. Go scroll back up there. We got Dalton. We like people named Dalton in this chat. He says winning this series should be such a boost for the team. We need the OG Milkman. Please, no spoiled milk. Trying really hard, you guys. Benjamin Hunley, yes, we did see that Dalton Varsho catch yesterday. If I could show it on this game, I would show it a million times. In fact, somebody made a hilarious comparison saying that catch was a metaphor for Torey Lovullo's managing, right? Like, it's kind of sloppy. It's kind of mess. There's mistakes being made, but somehow everything works out. Lawrence Harmon just got home from El Paso. He said, what a win. Cactus Light, Lawrence, this one's for you, buddy. Here he is. There he is. He's on in all of his glory. We might even make him into a t-shirt. I don't know. This one's for the Diamondbacks pulling out a close win. The more victories, the more times you guys get to see the Cactus Light, but I'm turning it off now. That's enough Cactus Light for the night. I gotta make sure that I only give out so much Cactus Light, Kevin. I got to treat the chat like small children. If it was up to the chat, they'd have Cactus Light all the time.
It's a potent thing.
It would just be the Cactus Light sitting in this chair with Jesse Jr. behind them and me completely gone from the set. But
I will say it's objectively crazy that Lawrence Harmon, arguably
biggest Cactus
one
Light
of the
fan.
founders of the Cactus Light movement.
Yeah, he's the founder and proprietor of the Cactus Light movement.
I would say it's objectively crazy that he gets in the chat and then all of a sudden you decide that it's too much Cactus Light and that it is no more.
Yeah, it's been on the whole show. What are we at? The 40-minute mark?
Yeah, 41:35.
Well, again, it's pretty much the entire. That's too much Cactus Light for Lawrence. It's got to be dealt out in small doses. But hopefully, Gallon, which is what we were talking about, can get right, and hopefully, what we can see is another strong performance. I still think, looking at these probable pitchers, that again this should be a strong outing for the Diamondbacks. You have Corbin Burnes and Zach Gallen going in a series. You're going to have Merrill Kelly and Brandon Pfaadt going in the following series, right? And you just have to feel good about that. But then you have Eduardo Rodriguez coming back around, and we know that he sends my anxiety level to a 9 right now, and for good reason, for very good reason. But we have a little bit more to talk about. We win. Every win. You know what, Ryan? You're right. Ryan's got it right. Every win, we light the cacti. We light the cacti.
Love that.
We love it. Let's get to some super chats because Lawrence just dropped one, and I love you, Lawrence. Lawrence Harmon, thank you for your super chat. He said, "I'll buy that shirt. Thank you. Just walked in the door."
$10 super chat too.
It's $10 super
Sheesh.
chat. Proud to be of service for you, sir. We got BCSC showing up. Do we have any appropriate BCSC tweets to read?
Yeah. BCSC super chat $2. Like I said, Corbin Baby Burnes.
Yes, Corbin Baby Burnes.
Baby Burnes.
Baby Burnes. That's Mr. Burnes to most of you.
And then
there.
Be Calm also in a separate super chat also inquires as to the location of Noah.
Is he still here?
No, Noah's been gone for a little bit.
It's
now.
Noah's birthday, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, so drop a super chat in honor of Noah's birthday. And we'll make sure that he drinks that much in alcohol.
What does that mean? Like if you donate, like if it was like a $5 super chat, would that be like 5 drinks? Would that be like 5 liters, 5 gallons?
I like the fact that we're converting it into liquid form. Yeah, for sure. Doug Glatt bringing up that Miami showed out their City Connects today. Yep, we are going to talk about that. Doug, perfect timing. And of course, we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. But I did want to remind all of you to come join us this Sunday. If you want to come hang out with me, we have a little bit of an OG Diamondbacks reunion going on here. No disrespect to large intimate Kevin Thomas. He is a cornerstone. He is a pillar of the Diamondbacks podcast now. There's no foundation any longer without Kevin Thomas. However, this Sunday, we're going to be having a watch party. I know it starts a little early. We're going to get out there to Gila River Resorts and Casino, 11 o'clock in the morning. We're going to watch the finale against the Phillies, and we're going to all do it together as a family. Then we're going to pop off and do a post-game show live. If you want to stick around, you can watch it live. If you want to hurry home and watch it at your house, you can do that too. But it's going to be myself, Damon Dog producing, and joining us via satellite is one Jesse Friedman on Sunday. So the three of us light it up. Can we get a glockenspiel in honor of,
we can get
the
a
OG?
we can get a
the OG
glockenspiel.
crew getting together. We got the OG crew getting together.
We can even do a DJ air horn.
Let's go. Oh, let's go. It's electric. So come join us. We're going to have a great time. RSVP is free. Just go to the website. Let us know you're coming. That way we can have an idea of how many people are going to be there. But again, we're going to watch this wonderful watch party over at Gila River Resorts, Wild Horse Pass. And of course, we're going to do it together. So make sure you come out. We'll have a fun time.
Will the Cactus be there? The Cactus should be there in case of a victory.
We should probably bring the Cactus. Yeah, the Cactus will be there. I made the decision. Cactus Light is coming to Gila River.
Woo!
There you go.
Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel for the Cactus Light being there? A little bit?
Little Glockenspiel. It was a little quiet. We'll do it again.
It was a little quiet one? There it is. Yeah. All right. Yes. Let's go back to Doug's message there. Doug, he said he brought up the Citi Connect jerseys. Yep. We have had this week already the Chicago White Sox Citi Connect jersey, and now today the Miami Marlins jersey, which that means the Arizona Diamondbacks and their beautiful purple jersey with teal accents. And I can't. I'm saying too much. The hat is incredible. The pants, although probably aren't the color you think they're going to be, look amazing. Definitely the fit looks incredible on the boys. We've had a chance to see that, and we are definitely excited for the Diamondbacks to finally drop their Citi Connect jerseys. I've given you all the information I can possibly give you. I feel like I've given you too much. You deserve it, though. I don't understand how the Diamondbacks kept this under wraps, because that one that did make its rounds is not the official leak. But like I said, it's very close. All of the elements are there. There's just some differences to the final jersey. But there's a lot of things that you might have seen already that I do like and are part of the jersey. I like the little Arizona with the 1998 in it. I like the Arizona flag with the Diamondbacks A in the middle. That's all going to be on this jersey, and it's not going anywhere. All of the busyness, of course, is still going to be there with the gradient and the snakeskin and the pinstripes and everything. But I really think it works. I think it works. I think it comes together well. I think the hat looks great with it. And really, honestly, I just can't wait for you guys to see it. I can't wait for everybody to kind of get their opinions out there about it. I do think that it's going to be loved maybe locally a bit more than nationally. However, in my opinion, I still think it's one of, if not the best Citi Connect jersey from the 2025 crop. So I hope you guys are pumped when you see it. And again, I've made the comment about it. I know probably shouldn't have, but the merch is there. The merch has arrived at Chase Field. It's ready for the diligent, wonderful workers at the team shop to put it out on shelves. But get your credit cards ready now. Get your wallets now. I would say hide your wallets, but we know you know the number by heart. So just go out there and get yourself some cool stuff when it drops. Of course, we'll be covering that extensively when we do. Who says I don't want to be disappointed? What I will say is, if you don't like the jersey that's out there right now, there's a good chance you might not like the final product, if that makes sense. Because the base is not different, and they did not change. Like, that's not the part that's different. So if from what you've seen, you don't love, I understand. It is a lot. There's a lot going on. I myself like simpler designs. I think that was the appeal for me for the Diamondbacks Serpientes original Citi Connect jersey, right? That jersey is as simple as you can get, is the most streamlined, basic kind of old school baseball jersey that the Diamondbacks have ever had. And maybe it was too streamlined. Maybe I still think they switched the color on us. I still think the original Serpientes was far more beige than the yellow it kind of ended up being. But that could be part of the Nike, when Nike took over making the jerseys. Maybe Nike decided to kind of, make it add a bit more color. We know that they kind of messed up some of the color palettes for some of the teams, messed up some of the grays in baseball. So this one is not simple. This one is very complex. And again, I like it. B says the busier, the better for me. B's, I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to love it. And again, the hat alone goes so well with it that the whole thing is pretty electric. So Lawrence just RSVP'd for the watch party. All just so he can come see the Cactus Light in person. Do you see?
That's Glockenspiel worthy.
That's hit him with the Glockenspiel one more time. Oh, that's good times. Speaking of good times, 1 year ago we had some very good times together. Oh, Noah's here. All right, now it's a party. Noah's talking back to BComC. Clearly, they're gonna have a chat in the chat. That's gonna be fun. But
I actually told Noah to get in here for the super chat that BCom left earlier.
That's perfect. That is perfect. But 1 year ago today, the Arizona Diamondbacks faced off against the Los Angeles Dodgers in a historic game, one that we have come to know, to love, to call the B game. And you guys remember, I remember, I was sitting next to one Jesse, not this Jesse Jr., but the real guy himself. And we waited a very long time. Because bees had come into Chase Field. Not that bees, not the bees in the chat, a swarm of bees, and made their home on the backstop behind home plate. It's funny, our very own Kevin Thomas did not know about this incredible incident that happened just 1 year ago today, Kevin. But the reason why I specifically want to celebrate this is because of one man. And that man is one Matthew Hilton, a true American hero. Kevin, if we could put up some of the wonderful memories from Matthew Hilton. For those of you that do not remember, the hero of the night was Matt Hilton, who, by the way, the showmanship, the soaking up the spotlight, the understanding the moment. I've never seen someone with such social awareness, such bravery, and such showmanship, once again, as Matt Hilton displayed this night. Called from Surprise, Arizona, all the way across town in an emergency situation to get these bees out of here. Matt Hilton beelined his way to Chase Field. He was brought out on a cart like the hero, the king that he is. He, again, soaked up the spotlight upon his arrival, much like many pro wrestlers know to do. This guy, he's an entertainer, Kevin. And he came out of the whole situation, again, as a huge hero. While he sprayed the bees, the Diamondbacks lovingly played songs like Blinding Lights by The Weeknd and Holding Out for a Hero. Those thumped in the background while we all watched this man. He gracefully and humanely knocked the bees out and then kind of brushed them into a bowl or into a bucket, capped the bucket off, took the bees away. Then he stopped to throw the first pitch, Kevin. The man threw out the first pitch. As you saw there, he got a Topps Now card designed for him. Throw that bad boy back up on screen. There he is. There he is in his outfit. There he is soaking up the limelight. And there is his incredible Topps Now card that came out. Christian Walker, by the way, slugged a walk-off 2-run home run that night in the 10th inning, in extra innings, for the Diamondbacks to win that baseball game. You ready for it, Kevin?
Ready.
By a score of 4-3.
Whoa. That's pretty crazy.
That's the universe tipping their cap to Matt Hilton is what it is. By the way, the delay was so lengthy that it absolutely ruined Jordan Montgomery's career. Fun fact.
Break it down.
He was supposed to start that night. And due to the delay from the bees, he was scratched and did not start until the next night. So instead of starting in this game, he started on May 1st. Do you want to know what his numbers in 2024 were from May 1st until September 26th?
I sure do.
22nd, excuse me.
I sure do.
His ERA was 6.66. I'm not really a religious person, but I'm sure some of you are aware of the importance of that number. He also had an opponent batting average of 322 for the rest of that season. His numbers, his combined numbers from 2021 through 2023 were an ERA of 3.48 with an opponent batting average of 244. So, yeah.
I will say, Derek, on the topic of our guy Matt, you were speaking about him soaking up the moment like a pro wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Brother even hit the pose. Like look at the Topps Now card.
Yeah,
that's an elite like pose.
I couldn't believe that was happening in front of my very eyes. Like there were a lot of things that were confusing, maybe a little infuriating with the delay. Maybe just the concept that bees could bring a Major League Baseball game to its knees. But the only thing I'll remember from that night is that man just being an absolute natural when it came to sports entertainment, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, there are some people who are naturals. People have claimed Logan Paul is a natural. People have claimed that CM Punk was born to be a pro wrestler. God damn it, I will say that Matt Hilton was born for the spotlight. I don't know in what capacity. I don't know if we can get more public need for Matt Hilton to come out and take care of bees at big games or whatever. But I mean, at least we have the guy. We have the MVP of beekeeping available on call at any time. So I don't even know if bees at this point want to mess with Chase Field. Also, that stadium is broken, and I don't know if it can be fixed. And maybe bees don't want to hang out there anymore. We should ask Bees his opinion on this since we're talking about him so much. But yeah, I've just still kind of blown away by what one Ryan Thompson did tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's the bee's knees. Maybe Ryan deserved the King Snake. Sometimes we decide on King Snake early. So maybe Ryan Thompson deserved it. Maybe Corbin Burnes deserved it. But we absolutely know that Geraldo Perdomo, with his pinch hit heroics, deserved it tonight. Maybe as big of a hero for this team as Matt Hilton once was. But again,
should Damon Dog have gotten a shout for King Snake?
Oh yeah, Damon Dog. His return from Hawaii definitely brought the positive vibes. The Diamondbacks were in a tailspin without Damon here. I don't think it's just like sometimes in life you need somebody to do it for. And if Damon isn't watching, I felt like this Diamondbacks team was like, what's even the point? What's the point of getting out of bed and putting a bat in your hand if Damon isn't here to cheer us on, right? And then his amazing return, his heroic return, gets this team to win against a very good Mets team, who once again has been incredible at home. We got some more super chats before we get out of here. Benjamin Hunley says, can we get an infielder coach that teaches Naylor or Beeks to cover first base? Yeah, that was probably the biggest defensive mistake. It was on both of them, right? I guess it was more on Naylor. Naylor wasn't going to make a play on that call. He should have just kind of on that ball. Probably should have just broke to first. But again, the Diamondbacks get out of it without it happening and being too terrible, right? Not being too terrible of a situation. BComC clearly has one more super chat. This one's for Noah. He says, happy birthday, Noah. I love you. You're my handsome, heartwarming baby daddy, and we locked in forever. And Damon needs a message, and so does Espo. One love. We love you. We love you, BCSC, and we love Noah. Happy birthday to sweet, sweet baby Noah. Your mother and I love you is just what I'm trying to send out to you. And no, I'm not his dad. I'm just relaying a message. By the way, again, Diamondbacks win. They beat the Mets. We have ourselves big night. We're turning on the cactus light when they win from now until the end of the season. That's what we decided. So Candace showed up late. Sorry, Candace. I don't know if we can get you filled in on everything that happened over the course of the night. But yeah, make sure go back and watch this episode. We turned on the cactus light. It's off now, and I'm not turning it back on. It takes too much energy. Got to steal more batteries from the Xbox controllers in this office. But again, we appreciate you guys all for stopping by. We appreciate this Diamondbacks team for figuring out a way to win a baseball game. And most importantly, we appreciate Corbin Burnes for only allowing one run in this one. Also, Geraldo Perdomo for being the greatest thing to ever happen to this team. We will see you again tomorrow. Early start in tomorrow's game, 10:10 start time. We'll be back here with an afternoon post game. So make sure to join us for that. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at cap_caveman with a K. My guy Kevin is at Kevo Posts. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks. But of course, as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. BCSC, quick super chat says, do you need a kiss, Espo? I'll give him a kiss. I'll smooch him right on his stupid face just for all the things he did for this show. We love you, Espo. Big thank you to Espo, by the way. I am back now full time, and Espo is the guy that made that happen. He's the guy that brought Jesse back, and he is the guy that cares so much about baseball that he's doing everything in his power to make sure we can continue to bring you this show. So he deserves that kiss, BCSC. Thank you for your super chat. Appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. We will see you tomorrow with another post-game show. Until then, behave yourselves, and I'm talking to you. Be calm, see clearly. Make sure you guys all have a wonderful night. Enjoy this win. Hopefully the Diamondbacks can win the series tomorrow with Zach Gallen on the mound. So again, behave yourselves, and remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it is so much more fun when your bullpen can keep things together.
We all silly like the mayor.